Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Stony Brook Football. Today, we have your Stony Brook Seawolves taking on the Delaware Blue Hens. So, you missed a little bit of action here, but so far, it is Delaware's ball. They have the first drive of this game as Zach Gwynn hands it off to Dejan Lee, only able to gain a couple of yards that time. So let's talk about this Delaware offense really quick here. Now, Zach Gwynn, not the original starter. Their original starter got injured, Nolan Henderson to be exact. He suffered a hip injury a couple weeks ago, and Zach Gwynn so far has gone 1-1 over their past 2 games, and so far he's been doing the job that Delaware needs to stay in this hunt for the CAA playoffs.
Yeah, you're right about that. And if Delaware really wants to still make that hunt for the playoffs, they're going to have to rely on their star running back, Dejan Lee. You know, he was named Walter Payton Award, one of the candidates for the Walter Payton Award in 2021. And he's been really running the football hard this season. Has about 471 rushing yards and like 3 touchdowns. And this is what Delaware's offense need to rely on, their running game.
Agreed. Now, Delaware, as they were unable to do anything on their first drive, punted away, and a great job by Delaware, able to pin it within the 5-yard line. So Stony Brook will get their first possession of this game. Now, talking about the Seawolves here, they're 1-5. They're on a 4-game losing streak. And honestly, after that blowout loss against Oregon, they just haven't been able to get anything going.
And that's funny because you expect them to play better because they played the number 4 team in the country during that time when it was playing Oregon. And they didn't put up a bad fight in the first half. You're thinking that it's going to give them momentum for their season, but instead, they've been on a 4-game losing streak.
As a huge hole, Tyson Lyon from the 1-yard line. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Seawolves!
Wow.
Tyson Lawton able to break it from just was inside the 1-yard line, and Tyson Lawton getting a 99-yard touchdown here to start the game.
You talk about valuable pieces on this offense, you're talking about Tyson Lawton. He just had a 99-yard rushing touchdown for a touchdown. And if the Seawolves want to continue to not lose games, they need to continue to hand the ball all to Tyson Lawton because he gives life to the Seawolves offense.
As Angelo Guglielmo now kicks the extra point, and it's good. So with 10:53 left to go in this first quarter, Seawolves scoring on one play, a 99-yard touchdown by Tyson Lawton.
Yes.
And honestly, this is the start you need if you're Stony Brook. You were able to get the stop on Delaware's first drive, and you hand it off to Tyson Lawton, get the 99-yard touchdown.
And that was just very incredible by Tyson Lawton, running through the B gap, B and A gap, and it was wide open up the middle, and he had a 99-yard touchdown. Like, once he broke that hole, there was nobody to touch them. Let's see what Delaware can do to answer off that touchdown by Tyson Lawton.
Exactly. The Delaware defense, they were playing a little too close that time. Give credit to the Seawolves offensive line on that play.
Yeah.
And Tyson Lawton just finding the hole. And Stony Brook now with the early 7-0 lead as Angelo Guglielmo now is set to kick it away.
And if you're talking about Tyson Lawton, he's on pace on having his 3rd straight game with 100 rushing yards. Oh, it's just that 99-yard rushing touchdown.
There you go. It would be a phenomenal achievement to get 3 consecutive 100-yard games. And with that, Delaware now will get their second possession of this game. Their first drive, really unable to do anything. They had the nice 20-yard completion to Thyrick Pitts, but other than that, Zach Gwynn and this Delaware offense just unable to
Yeah.
get anything going.
And he needs to get these Hens offense going because he's the replacement for Nolan Henderson. And I hope Delaware that he can
So
give them
first
at
and
least
10
hope.
now for Delaware at the 25-yard line. Zach Gwynn taking the snap. Throws it over the middle, a little too high for his receiver that time. That was Braden Bros, unable to make the catch. So it'll be second down.
And if you're Brady Rose, you gotta hold on to that football because if the safety wasn't near that football, it could have been an interception.
So second and 10 now for Delaware at the 25-yard line. Zach Gwynn takes a snap, looking to that right sideline for Brett Buckman, but unable to connect. So 2 straight incompletions here for Zach Gwynn. So now it'll be third and long for Delaware.
And the Hens right here, they really need to get their star receiver Thyrick Pitts going to him in the passing game. Keep targeting him.
So third and 10 now for Delaware. Dejon Lee motioning back in as the single back. 3 receivers to Zach Gwynn's right. Now he's coming up to the line looking to switch the play. So third and 10 now for Delaware. Cartho Flowers Lloyd coming in on the blitz. Able to get it to his receiver that time. That is Gene Coleman the second, but unable to get enough for the first down. So back-to-back punts now for Delaware. And so far a great job by the Seawolves defense.
Yes, that's a really good job, especially by Jabari Reddick because Gene Coleman looked like he had a lot of open field in that with that pass caught, but great tackle by Jabari Reddick on that play.
So far, Zach Gwynn only 3 of 6 for 41 yards as it's nearly blocked as Siba Naket now looking to return it, and he's able to get it to within the 25-yard line. So that's where Stony Brook will start their next drive. Now, you got the 99-yard touchdown on the first play of your first drive. So right now, all the momentum is with Stony Brook. But how do you think they should approach this next drive?
Continue to feed Tyson Lawton the football. Keep getting him carries. And with that, you can catch the defense off guard with play action. And it's going to lead open holes in a passing game for you to target receivers like Delonte Helms, John Harris Jr., and Khalil Newton.
So the running game, definitely the philosophy for Stony Brook. It's been their MO all season. But I have to ask you this. When you run the ball and it's successful for the first 3 quarters, Stony Brook has a bit of trouble of finishing out games, being able to get those tying scores. Their last 2 games, they lost by a touchdown. So when you're in the 4th quarter, obviously running is your MO, but if you're down in a game, how can you adjust? Because obviously you don't want to be one-dimensional.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Stony Brook, that's just how they've been playing the past couple of games.
And if you don't want to be one-dimensional, you got to find holes in the passing game and breaking down these holes and like defenses, just in case, like the Delaware Hens defense, try to see where the holes are at for your receivers to get open.
Now, Stony Brook coming into this game, they have an 8-game losing streak at home. So if they're able to get a win here, that could possibly change the momentum for their season.
Yes.
The last time these 2 teams met, it was back in Delaware, and Stony Brook got absolutely destroyed in that game. 31-3. Now, Tykel Fields, if you remember in that game, he did get injured in that game, so Stony Brook not at full strength. But overall, as Tykel Fields and the Seawolves look to start their next drive, they have to keep the foot on the gas.
Yeah.
If they can get another score here, it would be great for their confidence.
I'll hope for the Seawolves to play this game with revenge after what Delaware did to them in the spring, losing 31-3. So let's see what happens.
So on the first play of the drive, Seba Naket getting a gain of about 5 yards that time. So it'll be 2nd and 4 now for Stony Brook. Tyson Lawton checking back into the game. So 2nd and 4 now for Stony Brook as we approach 9.5 left to go in this first quarter. Stony Brook up 7-0 in this one. As Tykel Fields takes the snap, hands it off to Tyson Lawton, but only able to gain a couple of yards on that play. So it'll be 3rd down for Stony Brook.
Actually, he wasn't able to get any gain on that play, but let's see what they do on 3rd down.
Yeah, they're calling it a gain of 1 by Tyson Lawton on that play. So it'll be 3rd and 3 now for Stony Brook. And with Tyson Lawton as the single back, 2 receivers to his right, Tycho Fields takes the snap, looking to throw, runs to his right to avoid. There is a flag down. And Hunter Hayek unable to make the easy catch there. But it looks like it's going to be a holding call against Stony Brook, so it'll be coming back.
And
so opting to decline the penalty here is Delaware, and Stony Brook now looking to punt it for the first time today.
if you're Hunter Hayek, you have to be able to catch that ball that Taka Fields threw you when you was wide open, because you never know. You can get a lot of opportunities like that in this game. And if you keep messing up those opportunities, Delaware is going to keep up to it, and they're going to frig you out.
So Mitchell Wright now punting it away as Delaware just lets it bounce into the end zone for the touchback. So Delaware will start their next drive at the 25-yard line. So with 8:33 left to go in this first quarter, your Stony Brook Seawolves are ahead 7-0. The score coming off of a 99-yard touchdown by Tyson Lawton. And so far, Tyson Lawton, 2 rushes, 100 yards. So he's able to get his 3rd consecutive 100-yard rushing game.
Yeah.
So as Delaware looks to come back on the field, their last drive, they went to the air all 3 times. What do you think they need to do in order to tie this ball game up?
Well, it's simple. First down, run with Dejan Lee. See if he can get you at least positive yards, about like 5 yards, 6 yards. 2nd down, cast the defense off in the passing game, get a first down, and continue to move the chains by either feeding Dejan Lee the football or look for your receivers like Gene Coleman and Thyrick Pitts.
So with Delaware looking to start their next drive, their last game, it was a tough loss against Rhode Island, 15-22. And Zach Gwynn threw 3 interceptions in that game.
Yeah, he looked
We've
horrible.
talked about Tykel Fields in the past not throwing interceptions, but I think whichever defense is able to cause the most turnovers might honestly get the advantage in this one.
Yes, you're right, because both of these quarterbacks struggle to not turn over the football. So whoever doesn't really turn over the football this game or don't throw that many turnovers is going to decide the outcome of this game.
So with Delaware now looking to start their next drive, they just need a bit of momentum. Obviously, they gave up the 99-yard touchdown to Tyson Lawton, but still early in this first quarter, and if Delaware can string a couple of plays together, they might be able to drive down the field and potentially score on this one. So it'll be 1st and 10 now for Delaware at the 20-yard line. Zach Gwynn looking to take the snap. And he hands it off to Dejan Lee, who is only able to gain about No yards, actually. He's able to get back to the line, but that's it. So it'll be 2nd and 10 now for Delaware.
And the Seawolves is really doing a good job containing Dejon Lee because once he finds an open hole, he could break it into a touchdown, to be honest, or long yardage.
So 2nd and 10 now for Delaware, handing it off to Dejon Lee. And again, great job by this Stony Brook front 7, holding him to no gain. So it'll be 3rd and 10 now for Delaware.
Yeah.
So on the last drive, they went with 3 straight passes. On this drive, 2 straight runs, but for no gain. So Zach Gwynn now forced to pass on this 3rd down. As Dejon Lee comes back inside, Zach Gwynn takes the snap, rolling to his left, throwing it to that sideline, and a great catch by the receiver that time, Gene Coleman II, and Delaware able to get just enough for the 1st down.
Wow, what a catch by Gene Coleman, holding that pass in by Zach Gwynn. And it looked like it was contested, and he was still able to catch that ball over his defender.
A gain of 11 that time by Gene Coleman. So 1st down now for Delaware. Zach Gwynn looking to throw it quickly here, able to complete it to Brett Buckman along that right side, and able to gain about 8 yards that time. So it'll be 2nd and short now for Delaware. So back-to-back completions for Zach Gwynn, and that has to get your confidence up after only playing 2 starts so far this season.
Yeah, have a lot of momentum.
So the quick handoff here by Delaware, this time to Marcus Yarns, the 3rd down back, and he's only able to gain a couple yards that time, but it is enough for the 1st down. So Delaware now with a couple of 1st downs, moving the ball now. So if you're Stony Brook, as they kind of bring everyone towards the box, Zach Gwynn now looking to take the snap. 1st down for Delaware, and a great catch once again by the receiver that time. And Thyrick Pitts able to make the contested grab.
Wow.
A gain of 5 that time. So it'll be 2nd and 5 now for Delaware.
It looked like it was going to be an interception, and that was a great job by Thyrick Pitts getting in front of the ball and catching that contested catch for 5 yards, saving Zach Gwynn an interception.
A high snap that time, as they only go up the middle that time. That is the backup, Anthony Paoletti, only able to gain a couple that time. So it'll be 2nd and down now for Delaware.
Flowers Lord on the scout. 2 brings up 3rd down.
So it's actually 3rd and 3 now for Delaware. Zach Gwynn back in the game, and everyone close to the quarterback now as this 3rd down comes. And he hands it off to the running back, but unable to get enough for the 1st down is Dejon Lee. And it'll now be 4th and short for Delaware, as they look like they're going to keep their offense out here for this one.
And that was just a great job by Ryan Lopez on that tackle to only allow Dejon Lee to run for only 1 yard, and now it's going to bring up 4th and 2.
So everyone stacked up, 3 players behind Zach Gwynn. Now motioning out Dejon Lee, the single back here on this play. So 4th and 2 now.
I think you're just trying to draw the most odds.
And that's exactly right. As Delaware calls a timeout, and it looks like their punter now, Tyler Pastula, is looking to put this away for Delaware. So with 4:10 left to go in the 1st quarter, Stony Brook is ahead 7-0 from the 99 touchdown from Tyson Lawton. And so far, the Stony Brook defense, the last couple of games haven't really been able to stop opposing offenses. So far, Delaware hasn't even been able to get to Stony Brook territory. So far at home, a great job by the Seawolves defense.
Yeah, you're right, because the Seawolves defense has allowed about 26.7 points per game. And this is a great job by the Seawolves defense containing this Delaware offense, because this Delaware offense is actually not a bad offense. They're actually a really good offense. And they're containing them this whole first quarter. So if the Seawolves keep it up defensively, it can march them to victory.
So with Tyler Pashula punting it away from Delaware, Stony Brook will start their next drive from their own 16-yard line. 4 minutes left to go in this first quarter. So for Stony Brook, besides that 99-yard touchdown on their previous drive, not really able to get anything going offensively. So coming back out now onto the field, Tycho Fields looking to get their mojo back as he hands it off to Seba Naket. Only able to gain about 1 yard that time. So it'll be 2nd and 9 now for Stony Brook.
And in this first quarter, Tycho Fields only have one pass attempt. So you figure how now they got to stop being one-dimensional, because Delaware is starting to figure them out. So you will want Tykel Fields now to keep throwing the football, because to show that my quarterback can throw the football. Not only we can run the football, we can throw the football. We can hurt you in a passing game too.
So 2nd and 8 now for Stony Brook. Tycho Fields able to complete it to the tight end that time. That is Thomas Dutton. And he is able to have just enough for the first down.
Justice Henley on the tackle. The game is good. Seawolves.
So able to move the chains is Tykel Fields on a 14-yard pass completion to Thomas Dutton. And that's exactly right. They went to the air that time on 2nd down, and able to pick up the first down is Thomas Dutton. Tycho Fields motioning to Sean Harris Jr. as Roland Dempster able to gain about 5 that time on the ground. So it'll be 2nd down now for Stony Brook.
Pretty good run by Roland Dempster to pick up 5 yards and now bring up 2nd and medium.
Stony Brook moving up to the line. Another handoff once again to Roland Dempster. And he's only able to gain about 4 this time. So it'll be 3rd and 1 now for Stony Brook. And they're actually going to give him enough for the first down. So back-to-back runs that time. A gain of 6 and a gain of 5 for Roland Dempster. As Tycho Fields hands it off once again, this time to Tyson Lawton. And he's only able to gain 1 yard that time. So 2nd down now for your Seawolves.
And Matt Culver on the tackle, gain of 1. 2nd down, 9.
So 3 straight runs now for Stony Brook. And they've been able to move the chains so far in this game. As it is 2nd and 9 now for Stony Brook. Tycho Fields takes the snap, looking right, throwing right, and coming back to the ball is Sean Harris Jr. And he's going to be very close to the first down marker. They're going to give him a gain of about 8 that time. So it'll be 3rd and 1 now for Stony Brook. Only the 2nd completion of this game for Tycho Fields, as they quickly throw it along the right side to Hunter Hayek, and he's able to get just enough for the first down. So the no huddle working for Stony Brook on this drive.
Yes, and it's working because you want to tire this Delaware's defense out.
So it'll be 1st and 10 now for Stony Brook on the Delaware 47-yard line, as Tycho Fields keeps it running along that left side, and he is tackled right in the 15-yard line. There is a flag down on the play, but Tycho Fields, first time he's keeping it in this one. and able to pick up a lot of yardage, but let's see what the flag is.
Holding. Offense. Number 0. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Results in the first down.
So take away the run by Tykel Fields. They're going to get holding on Delonte Helms Jr. along the left side. So instead, it'll be first down for Stony Brook, but instead it'll be at the 23-yard line.
And that was just a small call by Chuck Prior to call option there, because Delaware is thinking they're going to keep handing their football off to their running backs, and they're forgetting that their quarterback is really fast, so he can take it off too.
So 1st and 10 now for Stony Brook, but before they snap it, timeout is taken by Chuck Priori and your Stony Brook Seawolves, as there is 9 seconds left to go in this first quarter. And so far, Stony Brook kind of able to get whatever they want offensively. A nice couple runs, obviously the 99-yard touchdown by Tyson Lawton. But so far on this drive, they've been able to tire out this Delaware defense, and they've been able to look like the aggressors in this one so far.
Yeah, they keep pounding the football, they keep moving the chains offensively, and it's just very surprising because you usually don't see the Seawolves offense continue to keep moving the chains offensively based on how this season has been. And for them to come in, be on home field advantage, come in and move the ball offensively, moving the chains, and tiring out this Delaware's defense, we don't know how it will look third or fourth quarter if they keep doing this.
So Stony Brook now coming back onto the field. It'll be 1st and 10 now for Stony Brook on the Delaware 33-yard line. And looking at a bit of the breakdown for Stony Brook, it's mainly been their ground game. That's been their MO all year. It's been working for them in this game. So far, they are able to get 144 yards on the ground. Only 3 completions for Tykel Fields as we approach the end of the first quarter. Stony Brook looking to run one more play. But if you're Stony Brook, this is kind of the start that you wanted.
Yeah.
Obviously, they haven't been the greatest at starting off games really strong. A lot of the times this season, they've had to play catch-up. They've fell behind early in a lot of their games so far this season. And so far in this one, Stony Brook has the early lead.
Yeah, like you said, they've always been behind at like almost every game they played. And now they're actually ahead in this game, have the lead 7-0, and they're in Delaware's territory. That's actually the start you would want.
So Tykel Fields handing it off to Siba Naket, but losing 1 yard that time on that play. So it'll be 2nd and 11 for Stony Brook. But at the end of the first quarter, Stony Brook is ahead 7-0. Let's send it back to the studio. So actually, we're going to keep it here at the end of the first quarter. Stony Brook ahead 7-0 as the only real big play of this game was that 99-yard touchdown by Tyson Lawton on the first play of the game for Stony Brook's offense. So going into the second quarter, Delaware, they are 3-2 on the year. Last year, they were sensational. They went 7-1. But obviously, this Delaware team, very different from last year's team. Obviously, the main difference is the quarterback, Nolan Henderson, injured, got a hit injury. He resuffered it in the game against Rutgers, where they lost 13-45. And it's likely that Nolan Henderson will be out for the rest of the season, but that's not official. So with Zach Gordon taking over as Delaware's starting quarterback. He is 1-1 on the year. This season, he's been not the greatest in the world. He's thrown for 198 yards, 1 touchdown, and 4 interceptions. So Zach Wynn having a mixed bag to his collegiate career as a starter, but as Delaware is looking to start the second quarter with the ball, what do you think Delaware needs to do in order to get any kind of momentum here on the road at Kenneth P. Lavalle Stadium?
Well, they need their quarterback to be more efficient. Like you said, he threw for 1 touchdown and 4 picks in the last 2 games that they played in. And right now, Dejon Lee haven't gotten to the start that he wanted to, expected to go into this game. So they need to open holes in the passing game to open more holes in the running game if the passing game is working for Delaware. Usually it's the opposite, but.
So 1st and 10 now for Stony Brook as they hand it off to Seba Nakat. Excuse me, actually it was 2nd and 11. But Seba Nakat unable to get much yardage, held to a short gain of 3. So it'll be 3rd and 8 now for Stony Brook at the Delaware 31-yard line. So with 2 receivers on the right side, Delonte Helms Jr. to the left. It is 3rd and 8 now for Stony Brook. Tykel Fields, Delaware sending the heat, and incomplete that time is Tykel Fields. Looking for Delonte Helms Jr. This is the first time Delaware has brought a blitz here and able to get to Tykel Fields that time.
Yeah, I was very surprised that they brought out the blitz because they haven't been blitzing Tykel Fields this whole game, and that's actually the key to actually get Tykel Fields to play bad. You need to blitz him because he's not really good against the blitz. So you want to continue doing that if you're Delaware.
So a gutsy call here by Chuck Priori, going for it here on 4th down as Tykel Fields takes a snap, looking to his right, looking to make a play, but incomplete that time as there is a flag thrown on the play. It looks like it's going to be against Delaware.
And I know it was a gutsy call by Chuck Priori to go for it on 4th down, but their kicker has been struggling all year with kicking field goals, 1 for 4 this year, and haven't been the best at extra points. So I don't blame Chuck Priori for going for it because they're in Delaware's territory.
So it actually, we'll see, it looks like they picked up. So Delaware's penalty, very costly here. I'm not sure if it was a pass interference or a holding on the Delaware defensive back. But it'll be 1st and 10 for Stony Brook on the 21-yard line. So the penalty bailing them out on that previous play as they hand it off there to Tyson Lawton. But a great play there by the Delaware defensive lineman that time, Tommy Walsh, holding him to no gain.
That was just a beautiful job by Tommy Walsh, holding the B gap and making sure that Tyson Lawton doesn't get any yardage in that gap, and instead, yardage for loss.
So 2-yard loss that time by Tyson Lawton. Now Stony Brook able to keep this drive alive on a 4th and 8 after a defensive holding penalty against Liam Traynor as Tykel Fields throwing to the end zone, looking for Sean Harris Jr. And it looks like he's going to be very short of the goal line. Mark him at the 1, but great play there by Stony Brook. Yeah, it looks like they're going to mark him short of the touchdown marker. But great throw there by Tykel Fields. A pass of 22 that time to Sean Harris Jr. as they try to do the no-huddle sneak, as they're able to get the touchdown now with Tykel Fields running up the middle. So, actually, they're going to give it to Tyson Lawton, actually. His second touchdown of the game. And Stony Brook now with a 13-0 lead.
Yes. And I want to go back to that play before Tyson Lawton's touchdown. As you notice, Delaware is playing cover 2. And on a cover 2, the skinny post is going to be open, wide open in the middle, and that's exactly what Sean Harris did. Ran a skinny post up the middle on a cover 2 defense, and it's exactly got them to where they want to.
So the second touchdown of the game for Tyson Lawton, only a 1-yard touchdown after Sean Harris was marked short of the goal line. So Angelo Guglielmo now looking to kick the extra point as multiple flags come down on the play. So they're going to call a false start that time on Justin Morgan, the offensive lineman. So they're going to move it back for the extra point try for Angelo Guglielmo. So a high snap, a bit of a bobble that time, and a big hit that time as they are unable to handle the snap, and it'll remain a 13-0 ball game here. Colby Reeder with the big hit that time, as it will be, instead of a 14-0 ball game, a 13-0 game, as there is 13:06 left to go in the second quarter.
And you want to know what's ironic about that? If you heard the Delaware fans, they was like, block that kick, and it ended up on that possession being a bad possession for special teams on the extra point.
So Stony Brook now ahead 13-0 in this game. The game against Rhode Island, actually, Angelo Guglielmo missed an extra point, ended up being crucial in that game, as they could have won it 21-20, but instead they ended up losing in overtime 27-20. So with Angelo Guglielmo now looking to kick it away now for Stony Brook, it's a 13-0 game. Tyson Lawton with his second touchdown of the first half. And listen to the stat line. Tyson Lawton, 5 rushes, 102 yards, and 2 touchdowns, averaging 20 yards a carry. That's just insane.
Yeah, that is. But most of that due to that 99-yard touchdown he had and an opening play for the Seawolves in the first quarter.
So Delaware now looking to get the ball back. They're now down 13-0 in this game. And honestly, Delaware just needs a first down to get some confidence back. They have 4 first downs on the game, but they just haven't even been able to get it into Stony Brook territory. So they definitely need to get something going here offensively. So the running game, the main factor here for Stony Brook in this one. But for Delaware, they only have 10 rushing yards so far through a little over 1 quarter.
Yeah.
And Zach Gwynn, he's 6'9", 465 yards, which is all right. But when you only have 10 yards on the ground so far, that's not doing any favors for your offense.
Yes, and 10 yards on the ground by your star running back, Dejon Lee, with only about 8 yards this game.
So Angelo Guglielmo now looking to kick it off for the Seawolves. Stony Brook ahead 13-0 in the second quarter as they're able to get a 1-yard touchdown by Tyson Lawton, which was set up by that 22-yard completion to Sean Harris Jr. So Stony Brook ahead by 2 touchdowns. Tyson Lawton having both of those touchdowns. So Delaware now looking to start their next drive. Angelo Guglielmo now kicking it away. Dejon Lee looking to return it just within inside the 10-yard line, running along that left side, and he's able to bring it back to about the 22-yard line, and that's where Delaware will start their next drive.
Campbell makes the stop.
So far in this game, Stony Brook's defense, usually not the greatest. They haven't played great for most of the season. But so far through this first quarter, their defense has played absolutely sensational.
Yes. Like I said before, they allow 26.7 points per game to opposing teams' offenses. So this is a really good start by the Seawolves offense.
As the handoff to Dejon Lee, he has a huge hole along that right side, and he's pushed out to the 50-yard line, a gain of 28 that time. And that's the play you need if you're this Delaware offense to get back in this game.
And that's exactly what I was talking about earlier. If Dejon Lee gets a huge hole, finds a huge hole, it's going to be a huge gain for him because he's able to turn those huge holes into big gains in the running game.
So Anthony Paoletti now in as the quarterback, handing it off to the tailback that time, and he's only able to get about 4 yards that time. So it'll be second down now for Delaware after the carry by Quincy Watson.
Second down and 6.
So 2nd and 6 now for Delaware at the Stony Brook 46-yard line as Zach Gwynn is back in as the quarterback. He takes the snap, looking left, looking towards the right, and able to complete it to his star receiver, Thyrick Pitts. And he's only able to gain a couple of yards that time. So it'll be 3rd and short now for Delaware.
Which pass is complete to Pitts. Jackson and King on the tackle. Seawolves fans, it's 3rd down.
So 3rd and 3 now for Delaware at the Stony Brook 43-yard line. Zach Gwynn looking to take it from under center. Dejon Lee is the feature back. They fake it, throw it to the tight end. Oh, a bobbling catch by Bryce DeMel, and he is able to get the first down for Delaware.
And that was just a great fake because I think everybody in this whole stadium thought that ball was going to Dejon Lee on the running game, and it looked like it until they found an opening to throw the pass to their tight end for a huge gain for a first down. That was just a great job by Zach Gwynn catching the defense off guard.
A 10-yard completion that time to Bryce DeMal. So it'll be 1st 10 for Delaware at the 33-yard line of Stony Brook. Zach Gwynn throwing it to the end zone, and a great catch by Thyrick Pitts as he is able to score the touchdown, and Delaware now is back in this game.
And that was just a nice ball thrown by Zach Gwynn because it was really good defense by that corner right there. And for him to just throw it where he can get it and to score the touchdown and to put Delaware back into this game.
Zach Gwynn trusting Thyrick Pitts. He threw the one-on-one along that left sideline, and Thyrick Pitts able to make the adjustment for the catch. Jordan Jackson, the defensive back, in coverage for Stony Brook. So looking to kick the extra point and able to do so is Ryan Coe. So with that, Delaware getting back into this game. Stony Brook still ahead though, 13-7 with 10:20 left to go in the second quarter.
And like you said, back to that touchdown play. A great ball thrown by Zach Nguyen. But it's also a smart job realizing the matchup. Thyrick Pitts is 6'3", 205 pounds. Jordan Jackson is 5'10". And to realize that my receiver is taller and my receiver is better than your cornerback who's guarding my receiver, he throws it up where Thyrick Pitts can get it, throws a contested ball, and for them to score and to be put back in this game.
And you can see the trust there between Zach Nguyen and Thyrick Pitts. Throwing up that one-on-one ball, that 50-50 ball, and Thyrick Pitts able to come down with the touchdown catch. A 33-yard touchdown by Thyrick Pitts. So it is now 13-7 for Stony Brook. And if you're the Seawolves, you have to be careful here. You don't want to go on this next drive and then punt the ball right back to Delaware.
Yeah, because now momentum is actually rolling through Delaware's side. And you're going to expect this Delaware defense to play with a lot of momentum because after what they just did on offense for them to score a touchdown and to be put back into this game. So it's going to be a lot of energy on that Delaware's defense. So it's up to Tykel Fields and the Seawolves offense to respond to that touchdown.
So first touchdown of the game for Thyrick Pitts. And Zach Nguyen so far, 9-12, 111 yards, and 1 touchdown. A QBR of 180.2, 75% completion percentage. And so far, Delaware not really getting anything going offensively through that first quarter. But after that big run by Dejon Lee, the 33-yard touchdown to Thyrick Pitts is able to get Delaware its first score of the game. So Ryan Coe now looking to kick it away for the Fighting Blue Hens as the Seawolves are looking to start their next drive. Ryan Coe kicking it away into the end zone for a touchback. So Stony Brook will start its next drive on the 25-yard line. So for Tykel Fields, he's 4 of 6 for 45 yards. This running game has been the main reason why they have the lead so far in this one. And the running game has been Stony Brook's MO, but what else do you think Stony Brook could throw into this offense if you're Chuck Priori?
Well, if you're Stony Brook, you want to just continue what you was doing. Being good in the run game and then catching their defense off guard in the passing game.
So Tykel Fields throwing it to Tyson Lawton off of the fake. And only able to gain a yard that time is Tyson Lawton. So it'll be 2nd and 9 now for Stony Brook. So good design on that play for the Seawolves. Just unable to get much open space was Tyson Lawton.
Yeah.
So 2nd and 8 now for Stony Brook. 3 receivers to the left side. Tykel Fields throwing it to that left side and able to get a run after the catch that time is Teddy Awful, as a late flag thrown at the end of that play. They're going to give him a gain of about 15 that time as Stony Brook able to move the chains. But let's see what the flag is. So it looks like they're going to call an unsportsmanlike penalty that time against Delaware. So now Stony Brook already in Delaware territory.
And that was just a bad job by Liam Trainer, because after Teddy Awful had a 16-yard play, you didn't have to tackle him again. The play was dead.
So 1st and 10 now for Stony Brook. Tycho Fields handing it off to Tyson Lawton, and he's able to bring it to the 37-yard line, a gain of about 5 that time. So it'll be 2nd and 5 for Stony Brook.
Gain of 4, 2nd down, 6.
So 2nd and 6 now for Stony Brook at the Delaware 38-yard line. Stony Brook ahead 13-7. Sean Harris Jr. and Teddy Awful stacking along that left side as Tycho Fields hands it off once again to Tyson Lawton, but Delaware all over him that time, holding him to a short game. So it'll be 3rd and short for Stony Brook.
No gain, 3rd down, 6.
So they're actually going to say that Tyson Lawton didn't get anything on that play. So it'll be 3rd and 6 for Stony Brook. And they were in a similar position on the last drive, able to get the touchdown with Tyson Lawton, as Tycho Fields looking to take the snap. Looking to escape the defender, but unable to do so. And he is sacked by number 12, Chase McGowan of the Delaware defense. So great job that time by Delaware, and they're able to force the punt from the Seawolves.
Beautiful job by Chase McGowan, playing a quarterback insane, seeing that Tycho Fields look like he was about to run it, playing the outside and making sure he gets no room in the running game.
Officially a 5-yard sack by Chase McGowan, and Mitchell Wright punting it away now for Stony Brook. Fair catch called for by Jordan Townsend, and Delaware will start their next drive at the 12-yard line. So able to get the stop was the Fighting Blue Hens, and if you're Delaware, this is exactly what you want. You were able to get the stop on defense, putting your offense back out on the field, and you now have a chance to possibly take the lead now in this one.
Yeah, you got to stop on defense now. It's up to your offense to either tie this ball game up or take the lead in this game.
So Zach Gwynn taking the snap, handing it off to Dejon Lee, but only able to gain 2 yards that time. So 2nd and 8 for Delaware. Great job by that Stony Brook defensive line.
Elias Reynolds and Jaden Jackson on the tackle, gain of 3. 2nd down, 7.
So 2nd and 7 now for Delaware, deep in their own territory, and a little bit of confusion there on the field, but play is resumed. 2nd and 7 for Delaware. Zach Gwynn takes the snap, throws it along the left side, and able to get the first down there is Brett Buckman.
Gwynn's pass is complete to Brett Buckman. Gain of 13 on the play brings up the Delaware first down.
So 1st and 10 now for Delaware after the 13-yard completion to Brett Buckman along that left sideline. And Zach Gwynn quickly taking the snap, looking to throw it deep, throws it deep, but too far out of bounds, looking for Thyrick Pitts that time.
And that was just great coverage, but also that was an overthrown ball by Zach Gwynn near the sideline to Thyrick Pitts.
2nd down, 10.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 now for Delaware on their own 28-yard line, trailing by 6 in this game. Zach Gwynn looking to take the snap. Quick throw to the left side, and able to gain about 1 yard that time is Thyrick Pitts. So it'll be 3rd and long now for Delaware.
Gain of 1 brings up 3rd down and 9.
It looked like they were trying to set up a wide receiver screen that time to
Yeah.
Thyroid Pitts, but unable to get anything going there. So it'll be 39 now for Delaware. 3 receivers to the right side. Zach Gwynn taking the snap, throwing it, and off the hands of Gene Coleman II that time. So it'll be 4th down for Delaware, and quick stop here for Stony Brook.
That's actually the stop that the Seawolves needed to get against this Delaware offense now, because it looked like Delaware was going to have momentum because they had to stop against their offense, but they couldn't get nothing going on the offensive side on this drive. So the Seawolves would get the ball back, and hopefully this time they can actually try to respond to that touchdown.
Tyler Pastula punting it away for Delaware. Seba Naket letting it bounce, but unable to get any yardage that time. Great stop by the Delaware special teams, able to hold him to no gain. So Stony Brook will start their next drive at the 15-yard line. That was Mateo Vandemia on the stop for special teams.
Fans, it's time for the best towel contest. Sponsored by Stony Brook Oral and Facial Surgery.
So with 5:23 left to go in this first half, Stony Brook ahead 13-7. And obviously, if you're Chuck Priori, you need to continue handing the ball off to your running backs, whether that be Tyson Lawton, Seba Naket, or Roland Dempster. But how do you think you can get Tykel Fields going, both on the ground and in the air?
Well, if you want to get him going all the ground, then throw in some option calls for their offense. Throwing a lot of read option, catch the defense off guard, because their running backs are able to run the ball effectively in this game. So Delaware's defense is still going to continue to think that they're going to hand it over to their running back. So if you're able to catch the defensive guard off the read option, then that's how you get Tykel going on the ground. But if you want to talk about on the air, these receivers need to be able to hold on onto their catches and making sure that Tykel Fields have enough time to be able to throw these passes downfield.
So far in this game, the first quarter, all Stony Brook, but last score from Thyroid Pitts of Delaware, as Stony Brook looking to take the field on this next drive, holding a 6-point lead in the second quarter. So it'll be 1st and 10 now for Stony Brook on their own 15-yard line. Tyson Lawton in the game for this play. And so far in this game, Khalil Newton, Delonte Helms Jr., 2 names that haven't really been looked at so far offensively for Stony Brook.
Yeah, and they're the Seawolves' primary targets, other than Sean Harris Jr.
As on the first down play, opting to stick on the ground with Tyson Lawton, able to gain 6 that time. So it'll be 2nd and 4 now for Stony Brook. So as we approach the 5-minute mark of the second quarter, it'll be 2nd and 3 for the Seawolves on their own 22-yard line. Hunter Hayek moving inside, handing it off once again to Tyson Lawton, and he is able to get just enough for the first down, a gain of about 6 that time. So first down for Stony Brook.
And once again, like I said, you want to continue to pound Tyson Lawton the football, because he's been very effective in this game, having 119 rushing yards and averaging 13 yards per carry.
So 1st and 10 now for Stony Brook. Tykel Fields taking the snap, handing it off once again to Tyson Lawton, but only able to get 3 yards that time. So it'll be 2nd and 7 for Stony Brook.
Gain of 3. Second down, 7.
So 3 straight runs by Tyson Lawton to start this drive. And so far, Delaware hasn't been able to stop this running game.
Yeah, you're right. So far, they haven't. And it's pretty surprising to me because this offense is being one-dimensional this game.
As Tykel Fields throws a quick completion to Delonte Helms Jr., and he's going to be a yard shy of the first down. So it'll be 3rd and 1 for Stony Brook. A gain of 6 that time by Tykel Fields. Quick handoff to Tyson Lawton, but great stop by that Delaware defense, holding him to no gain. So it'll be 4th down for Stony Brook.
Wow. That was just an awesome stop on that Delaware's defense on 3rd and 1, making sure that Tyson Lawton have no gain. And it looks like Chaprior is going to bring out his special teams out to punt this football.
Yeah, it looks for a minute that they might go for it. Chuck Fiore opting for his punter, Mitchell Wright. And Delaware now, 2:55 left to go in this second quarter. Delaware able to get the ball back here to end the half.
Oh, actually, they're trying to measure if Tyson Lawton had the first down. But it looked to us that he didn't get the first down, actually. It looks like he was actually stuffed for actually negative yardage. So,
yeah, they brought out the chains, but the referee ruling him inches short of the first down. So we'll see if Stony Brook decides to punt the ball here or keep their offense out there.
and it looks like they're going to bring in the special teams and take their offense out.
Chuck Fiore opting to punt this ball away here, giving it back to Delaware, trusting his defense, who has played really good so far in this game. The one blunder being on that last drive, the big run by Dejon Lee, and the 33-yard touchdown catch by Thyrick Pitts.
Mitchell Wright back to punt for the Seawolves.
So Mitchell Wright now looking to punt it away for Stony Brook, as we are under 3 minutes now left in this first half. And Chuck Fiore calling another timeout to see if he should go for this or try to punt it once again.
Seawolves fans, it's time to win prizes from your favorite restaurant. Seawolves Scratchers presented by Highland Federal is now live throughout the game. Visit StonyBrookAthletics.com/scratchers and start scratching to win free prizes today.
So far in this one, Stony Brook is out rushing Delaware 160-45, but Delaware having more passing yards than Stony Brook, 125-69. And so far in this one, both teams having their bright moments, but so far in this one, Stony Brook with the 6-point lead, as Mitchell Wright is back out once again to punt it away for the Seawolves. Mitchell Wright punting it away as Jordan Townsend looking to let the ball bounce, and Delaware will start their next drive from the 34-yard line. 1st and 10 now for the Fighting Blue Hens. And Zach Gwynn and this Delaware offense coming back onto the field. The last drive ending very quickly, only had 6 plays before they had to punt it away. the previous drive being their lone touchdown to Thyrick Pitts. So if you're Zach Wynn and this Delaware offense, how do you think they should approach this next drive?
Well, you're trying to score. You're trying to go into halftime with the big lead. And Dejon Lee looks like he's running.
He's running along that right side, and he's able to get it to about the 22-yard line. And it looks like Stony Brook is getting called for a horse collar tackle. So add even more yardage to the play for Delaware. And that's exactly what you needed on this first drive.
Wow. And like I said earlier, if you're Delaware, you want to get your workhouse back going, Dejon Lee, because he's so shifty and he's so quick in the backfield. He's going to make defenders miss and turn no gains into huge yardage. And that's exactly what Dejon Lee just did right there.
Yeah, on the last big run that Dejon Lee had, he was running along that right side, as this time Stony Brook all over the running back that time for Delaware. So it'll be second down for Delaware. But as I was saying, the two big runs by Dejon Lee have both been along that right side. So Delaware definitely looking to run along the right side, and able to get 43 yards that time was Dejon Lee.
And yeah, you're right about that. It's been going to the right side, but mainly the running backs, like each of the teams that Stony Brook play, when the run is not going against their interior linemen, it's going against their secondary, and they're daring their secondary to tackle their running back. And that's exactly now what Delaware has figured out, what other teams has figured out against the Seawolves this whole season with the running game.
So on 2nd and 14, Zach Wynn looking for Thyrick Pitts in the end zone, unable to connect. So it'll be 3rd and long now for Delaware. And honestly, if you're the Stony Brook defense, if you're able to hold Delaware to 3 points here and get the ball back, you could possibly go up by 2 possessions to end the first half.
Yes, you're right about that. That'll be a huge W.
So 3rd down now for Zach Wynn, running for his life along that left side, throwing it and incomplete that time, looking for Bryce DeMel, and great stop by this Stony Brook defense as they bring on Ryan Coe for the field goal attempt.
And that was just a great job by the Seawolves defense to get a stop in the red zone after it looked like the Delaware offense was going to score off that huge run by Dejon Lee with that 43-yard run. But now it looks like they're going to put up only 3 points on this drive, which is a huge W for this Seawolves defense.
So Ryan Coe looking to kick the field goal. He kicks it up, and it's good. So with that, Delaware able to cut it to a 3-point deficit. Good from 33 yards was Ryan Coe. And with 1:30 left to go in this first half, Stony Brook up 13-10 over Delaware.
Yes. And like I said, that is a huge W by the Seawolves defense, because they allowed a 43-yard run to Dejon Lee on that drive, but then got 3 stops in the red zone against this Delaware's offense to not make them score, to have a shot to take the lead this half. And now the Seawolves have 1 minute and 30 seconds left in this half to either do something offensively, try to score fast, like score a quick touchdown, or get a field goal on this drive to go into halftime, either with a 6-point lead or either with a 10-point lead.
Now, keep in mind, Delaware did get the ball first to start this first half, so Stony Brook will get the first possession of the second half. As Ryan Coe looking to kick it away, Sean Harris Jr. looking for the return. Ryan Coe kicking it away into the end zone for a touchback. So Stony Brook will start its next drive from the 25-yard line. So a minute 30 left to go in this first half. If you're Stony Brook, how should you approach this 2-minute drill?
Like I said, you want to either get 3 points on this drive or 7 points on this drive. If you're not able to do that, then it's a loss on this drive with under 2 minutes left to go in this half.
But another thing, too, you don't want to take too many unnecessary risks, especially at the end of the half.
Yeah.
So first 10 now for Stony Brook, opting to hand it off to Tyson Lawton, able to break a tackle, and he's able to bring it to about the 40-yard line. A gain of 15 that time, out of bounds, stopping the clock with 1:24. And actually, they're going to run the clock. But great first play by Tyson Lawton and the Stony Brook offense.
That was a really good job by Tyson Lawton, using the truck, the hit stick, and then running for about 14 yards on that play.
Tycho Fields taking the snap. Quick throw over the middle to Delonte Helms Jr. Clock continuing to roll. A gain of 5 that time. So second down for Stony Brook. Tycho Fields takes the snap and keeps it running along that right side. But he is lit up by the Delaware defender that time, Nigel Hill. And it'll be third down now for Stony Brook.
You saw Nigel Hill use the hit stick and Madden right there. He really just popped Tykel Fields on that play. So that was going to bring up 3rd and 6 with 19 seconds left to go. So if I'm Chuck Pior, I'm either letting this go to the half because you have a 3-point lead against this Delaware's football team, or try to at least get 3 points. But it looks like he's going to let it go to the half, which is actually a smart move.
Yeah, letting the clock wind out here. And at the end of the first half, your Stony Brook Seawolves ahead 13-10 over the Delaware Fighting Blue Hens. So Stony Brook now looking to start their first drive of the second half.
We look for the Seawolves offense to actually move the chains offensively on this drive to kick off this second half, because they're coming off two drives in the first half with touchdowns, and you want to continue that in the second half.
So first and 10 now for Stony Brook on their own 25-yard line. Tycho Fields takes the snap, hands it off to Tyson Lawton, running along that left side, only able to gain a couple of yards that time. Stop made by the linebacker, Andrew Pawlowski. And it'll be 2nd and 8 now for Stony Brook.
And that was a great tackle by Andrew Pawlowski on that play. And now it's going to bring up 2nd and 8.
So 2nd and 8 now for Stony Brook. Khalil Newton single to the right side. Tyson Lawton is the featured back for this play. Tycho Fields takes a snap, fakes it, throws it to Khalil Newton, getting his first catch, and he's able to bring it to the 45-yard line. The tackle made by Nigel Hill. And honestly, if Nigel Hill wasn't there, Khalil Newton might have had a touchdown right there.
Yeah, and it was just simple man-to-man coverage, and that was a great job by Tykel Fields relying on his receiver Khalil Newton, even though he's been quiet this whole afternoon before that catch. And that was just a nice catch by Khalil Newton, beating out his man inside. And it looked like it was going to be a touchdown, but a great tackle by Nigel Hill.
So first and 10 now for Stony Brook, handing it off once again to Tyson Lawton, able to bring it to the 50-yard line. Stop made by Andrew Pawlowski. So it'll be 2nd and 5 for Stony Brook.
As you see, the Seawolves just want to keep moving the chains offensively to wear down this Delaware's Blue Hens defense.
And for Stony Brook, in the passing game, no receiver has more than 2 receptions. As Tycho Fields takes a snap, Delaware sending the heat looking for Tyson Lawton along that left side, but incomplete. So it'll be 3rd and 5 now for Stony Brook.
And that was a good call by Danny Rocco, setting out the heat on the A-gap and making sure that Tyker Fields didn't have enough time to hit that throw to Tyson Lawton in the sideline. And I was going to bring up 3rd and 5.
So 3rd and 5 for Stony Brook at the 50-yard line. Receivers motioning closer to the line of scrimmage for this play. 3rd and 5, Tyson Lawton running out of the field. Tycho Fields stiff-arming a defender, and he's able to run just enough for the first down as Tommy Walsh was there, but Tycho Fields able to elude him and get the first down.
On that play, it was just simple. It was just Tycho Fields letting the defender know, I'm faster than you, so you're not going to catch me. So he hits up a little stiff arm and runs to his right side for about 8 yards for the first down.
So first down for Stony Brook, a free play getting someone off sides, throwing it up for Delonte Helms Jr. And the ball is picked off by the Delaware defensive back that time, Justice Henley, but it looks like it's not going to count.
Yeah, that was just the offense trying to draw a free play because it was an offside on the defense.
So instead of it being a 1st and 10, it'll be 1st and 5 for Stony Brook. If the offsides penalty was negated, Justice Henley would have had the interception. But instead, it's 1st and 5 for Stony Brook on the Delaware 37-yard line. The receivers to the left side, Roland Dempster, the feature back. So 1st and 10 for Stony Brook, 1st and 5, as Tycho Fields is able to get the quick completion to Sean Harris Jr., a gain of about 3 yards that time. So it'll be 2nd and 2 for Stony Brook.
Actually, it'll be 2nd down and 1.
Yeah, they gave him 4 yards on that completion. So 2nd and 1 now for Stony Brook. Tycho Fields handing it off once again to Roland Dempster right up the middle. And he's able to get a gain of 5 yards that time, which is enough for the first down as Stony Brook moves within the 30-yard line.
And that's just a good run by Roland Dempster, running through the B gap, realizing that you only need one yard for the first down, and he runs for 5 yards to bring up 1st and 10 in Delaware's territory on their own 27-yard line.
Gain of 6 that time by Roland Dempster. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Stony Brook. They are ahead 13-10 in this game. Tycho Fields taking the snap, faking it off to Roland Dempster, running along that left side. And a fumble is called. Let's see who has the ball. The officials looking under the pile to see who has it.
Ooh.
And they're still trying to figure out who it is. Tycho Fields keeping it, but
and it looks
Delaware looks like they're signaling that they have it. And they do. So first turnover of the game for Stony Brook off of the fumble by Tycho Fields. And Delaware getting the stop that they needed. And Stony Brook with its first turnover of the game.
And that just killed the momentum because that was just a really good drive to get it into Delaware's 27-yard line and fumbling when you're near the red zone. And now Delaware will have a chance to get back into this game or take the lead.
And the fumble was caused by Andrew Pawlowski, a name we've been mentioning throughout this game, recovered by Johnny Buchanan of Delaware. So Zach Gwynn now able to get the snap, but before they do, the officials are going to look to see if it was indeed a fumble by Tycho Fields. to see if he was down prior to the fumble. Now, I know Andrew Pawlowski did get stiff-armed by Tykel Fields earlier in that drive, but Pawlowski returning the favor here, causing the fumble by Tykel Fields. But let's see if he is down prior to the fumble.
And we've been mentioning Pawlowski's name this whole afternoon in this game, and I would like to say that he's really been hustling on majority of the plays against the Seawolves offense, and he's trying to bring pressure to Tykel Fields, and he's doing a good job with it. And with that, he might actually get a W with forcing that fumble against Tykel Fields after he just stiffed on them a couple plays before.
That is Pawlowski's 6th tackle of the game. Let's see what the referees say. So the fumble call stands after review by the officials. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Delaware. The first turnover of the game for Stony Brook. Andrew Pawlowski causing the fumble by Tykel Fields. So 1st and 10 now for Delaware. Zach Gwynn handing it off to Dejon Lee. But a great tackle there by Tyler King, forcing a loss of 1 that time. So it'll be 2nd and long for Stony Brook.
And that was just a great job by Tyler King. And Tyler King, he leads the CAA in solo tackles and in total tackles this season. And we've been mentioning his name all year. So he's a really key player to this Seawolves defense.
2nd and 13 for Delaware. Zach Gwynn running, and they're going to count it as a loss that time. Tyler King once again with the tackle.
And now, Tyler King on consecutive plays, making huge plays, and now it's going to bring up 3rd and 12 for this Delaware's offense.
They're going to call it a gain of 1 that time by Zach Gwynn. Sending the pressure on the previous play was Stony Brook's defense. Let's see if they send it again here on 3rd down. They send a 5-man pressure this time. Zach Gwynn throwing it deep, looking for his receiver, and incomplete that time. Looking for Brett Buckman, the defensive back. Gregory Young, the 2nd in coverage that time for Stony Brook. And Delaware unable to do anything with that fumble caused by Andrew Pawlowski. And Stony Brook now able to get the ball back.
And that's just a great coverage by Gregory Young, making sure that Brett Buckman doesn't beat him out and playing him over the top, making sure Zach Gwynn does not complete that pass to Brett Buckman on that play.
Tyler Pashula punting it away for Delaware. Siwa Nakai looking to bring it back for Stony Brook. He's able to get it to about the 33-yard line. And so that will be where Stony Brook starts its next drive. And as we mentioned, the last drive for Stony Brook went pretty well until that fumble by Tykel Fields. So if you're Stony Brook here, yes, ball security is going to be a huge emphasis going into this next drive. But if you're Stony Brook, you have to assume they're just going to hand it off to Tyson Lawton and try to keep it on the ground here as they have a 3-point lead.
Like you said, this drive, you want to secure the football. Do not turn over the football, because last drive, it looked like they had so much momentum going into Delaware's 27-yard line for them just to fumble on a read option to Tykel Fields. And I know Tykel Fields is going to be thinking on his head for now to secure the football this drive and try to put points on the board against this Delaware's defense.
So with 9:14 left to go in this third quarter, Stony Brook still maintaining its 3-point lead. The official score, 13-10. So as Stony Brook looks to start its third drive of this third quarter. Obviously, Tyson Lawton having a huge game. As always, 13 carries for 136 yards and 2 touchdowns. But for Tycho Fields and this aerial attack, he's been able to use a lot of different receivers in this game. And honestly, that's not something we usually see out of the Stony Brook offense. They usually rely on either Sean Harris Jr., Khalil Newton, or Delonte Helms Jr. So going into this next drive, Stony Brook definitely should continue to look for the unsung heroes on their offense and try to get this Delaware defense on their heels.
Yes, you want to keep them guessing. That's the point of football.
So first and 10 now for Stony Brook at the 33-yard line. Tycho Fields hanging it off to Tyson Lawton, who is able to get a gain of 11 that time and able to move the chains. So a quick first down for Stony Brook.
And Tyson Lawton, he's so tough and he's so quick, breaking down tackles to get an 11-yard gain on that first down to keep the chains moving. And that's exactly what you want to do if you're Chuck Prior and this offense.
So it'll be first and 10 for the Seawolves on the Stony Brook 44-yard line, having a 13-10 lead here at home as we approach the 8.5-minute mark of the third quarter. Tycho Fields takes the snap, hands it off once again to Tyson Lawton, who tries to hurdle the defender, and he's able to gain about 16 that time. So another first down for Stony Brook. Back-to-back huge runs by Tyson Lawton.
And you're seeing Tyson Lawton running hard on 2 consecutive plays. One play for 11 yards and another play for 16 yards, and he's trying to hurdle over his defender too. And this is just a nice job. Continue to pound the football and keep the chains moving.
So it'll be first and 10 for Stony Brook on the Delaware 40-yard line. Roland Dempster is the feature back. They hand it off to Roland Dempster, and he's able to get about 6 yards this time. So it'll be 2nd and 4 for Stony Brook.
And as you see on this drive, Chuck Prior is wanting his offense to keep it on the ground this drive, to secure the football and make sure no turnovers happen. And now they're in Delaware's territory.
So 2nd and 4 now for Stony Brook on the Delaware 34-yard line. Siba Naket is the back in for this play. Sean Harris Jr. motioning to the right. They hand it off once again to Siba Naket, and he's only able to gain a couple of yards that time. So it'll be 3rd and 1 for Stony Brook.
Colby Reeder takes the tackle. Gain of 2, 3rd down, 2.
So 3rd and 2 for Stony Brook. Tyson Lawton back into the game for this play. And you have to think they're just going to hand it off here to Tyson Lawton, right?
Yes, 3rd and 2. Why not? You're close to the first down. Don't force a pass if the ground game is working this whole drive.
And Tyson Lawton having the best game of his career, 15 attempts for 165 yards and the 2 touchdowns, as he's able to get enough for the first down, a gain of about 3 yards that time, as Stony Brook once again able to move the chains.
And once again, Tyson Lawton, he runs hard, and he don't care. He's going to make sure he gets that first down on short yardage.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Stony Brook on the Delaware 28-yard line after the 4-yard rush by Tyson Lawton on 3rd down. And one thing you've seen by Stony Brook, they're switching out the backs a lot on multiple plays. You have Tyson Lawton in for one play. You have Roland Dempster in for one play as they hand it off to him for a minimal game. And you'll even have like Siba Naket able to come in for a few plays. So trying to keep their backs fresh here, a great strategy by Chuck Priori.
Yeah, to have a 3-back system and making sure your backs are fresh to make sure that they're able to run the ball whenever you need them to run the ball. Making sure they don't get tired and making sure they always have energy.
2nd and 8 for Stony Brook after the 2-yard gain by Roland Dempster. Tycho Fields take the snap, looking to throw it deep. He looks for the end zone. He gets a wide open Khalil Newton, and he makes the catch for the touchdown as Stony Brook goes up by 9 points here over Delaware. And that was just a great in route by Khalil Newton.
An awesome dart by Tykel Fields, hitting Khalil Newton on that play. When realizing his man coverage, his Khalil Newton where he can get the ball at, and that was just a nice throw by Tykel Fields, and the Seawolves look to be up by 10 with 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
A 26-yard passing touchdown from Tykel Fields to Khalil Newton as Angelo Guglielmo now looking to kick the extra point. And he is able to do so. So with 5:13 left to go in this third quarter, Stony Brook adding to their lead. They are now ahead 20-10 over Delaware. And Stony Brook's offense coming alive here in this third quarter. Obviously, Tyson Lawton playing a huge role to that. And going back to the touchdown, you have to assume that Khalil Newton was wide open because, one, they were playing man coverage, but two, they're worried about Tyson Lawton on the ground.
Yeah, because Tyson Lawton is able to run the ball hard every play, and he has 167 rushing yards, averaging 10.4 yards per carry. And that's really good for this ground game for the Seawolves offense. And they're able to run the ball. Now it's going to lead to a lot of passing holes against this Delaware's defense because you're able to run the football.
If you're able to run the football, you're able to set up that play-action game. And that's exactly what happened on that touchdown pass to Khalil Newton. Only his second catch of the game, but good enough for his first touchdown as Stony Brook is now ahead 20-10. So if you're Zach Wynn and this Delaware offense coming back onto the field, Stony Brook's defense has played pretty well up until this point. So what do you think Delaware needs to do here in order to respond?
Well, they need to try to answer off that Seawolves touchdown caught by Khalil Newton. But they need to do that with Zach Wen being able to hit his receivers in stride and making sure Dejan Lee gets room in the running game if they want to put this to a one-score game.
So Ryan Coe now looking to kick it away Angelo Guglielmo now looking to kick it away for Stony Brook. Stony Brook ahead 20-10 with 5:13 left to go in this third quarter after the 26-yard touchdown pass to Khalil Newton. So Angelo Guglielmo now looking to kick it away for the Seawolves. And this ball is returnable as Dejan Lee able to move it to within the 40-yard line. Great return by him. And that's where Delaware will start their next drive.
And that's exactly what you needed because now you're in the 40-yard line or the 35-yard line, and you want to be able to put together a drive off a good kickoff return.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Delaware at their own 35-yard line. And Zach Wynn, up until this point, 11-19, 125 yards and 1 touchdown as he motions the running back out to the side. And he's looking deep for his receiver, but a little too far, a little bit too deep for Gene Coleman II. And with that, it'll be 2nd and 10 for Delaware.
And if he would have hit Gene Coleman II, he was wide open. That would have been a huge gain in the passing game. But Zach One, like I said, he needs to be able to hit his receivers in stride if they want to get something going for this Delaware's offense.
So 2nd and 10 for Delaware. Zach Wynn taking the snap, handing it off to Quincy Watson, but only able to gain 2 yards that time. So it'll be, again, another quick 3rd down here for Delaware.
And that was just a great tackle by Reggie Dominci on that play. It looked like Dejan Lee was going to get a lot of yards on that carry, but he seeing it, and he meets Dejan Lee in the backfield.
So it'll be 3rd and 8 for Delaware. Empty backfields for Zach Wynn, bringing Dejan Lee back in. Stony Brook sending the heat, but able to get it to his receiver that time. But it will be short of the 1st down marker, completing it to Jordan Townsend. So it'll be 4th down for Delaware.
A gain of 8 on the play.
And
Down and 1.
it looks like they're going to keep their offense out here, this time bringing in the versatile Anthony Pauletti as the quarterback. So Pauletti looking to take the snap. He does so, looking to run it up the middle, and forward progress will give him just enough for the 1st down. A gain of about 3 that time.
Anthony Pauletti
And great run by Anthony Pauletti for 3 yards on 4th and 1, meeting the Seawolves defender and keep fighting for yardage on that play.
So able to convert on 4th down was Anthony Pauletti. Zach Wynn back in as the quarterback. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Delaware on their own 47-yard line. Stony Brook bringing the heat once again. Zach Wynn throwing it deep. Again, looking for Gene Coleman the 2nd that time. But great coverage by Randy Pringle. Able to force the incompletion. So 2nd down for Delaware.
And that was just beautiful coverage by Randy Pringle on that play. Playing him over top, and Zach Gwen could have hit his receiver down the middle of the field.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 for Delaware after the incompletion to Gene Coleman. Zach Gwen looking to take the snap. Fakes it, throws it to his tight end that time, and able to take it to about the 40-yard line was Braden Bros off of the fake. And that was just a great design there by Delaware.
Yeah, that was a great design and great blocking by that offensive line on that play.
So 1st and 10 now for Delaware as they move into Stony Brook territory. This time, Marcus Yarns, the feature back for Delaware on this play. And they hand it off to Marcus Yarns as he runs along that left side, and he's only able to gain a couple of yards that time. 2nd down, fighting Blue Hens.
Jaden Jackson and Reggie DeMont on the tackles. Gain of 3. 2nd down, 7.
So it'll be 2nd and 7 for Delaware. And great response so far on this drive by Delaware. Able to get the run to 3 yards by Marcus Yards. And they hand it off once again to him. And he is about a yard shy of the first. Give him about 3 yards that time. So it'll be 3rd and 1 for Delaware.
It's 3rd down.
Well, it's 3rd and short. And you'll think that they're bringing in Anthony Pauletti in, but I think they're going to stick with Zach Gwen on 3rd and short.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to hand it off here to Marcus Yards. And that's exactly what they do. And he will be short of the 1st down marker, only getting about 1 yard that time. But that's it. So it will be 4th down for Stony Brook.
It's 4th down and 1.
So it'll actually be 4th down and 1 for Delaware. Zach Wynn staying out there for the Fighting Blue Hens. And before the snap is thrown, Stony Brook taking a timeout here defensively as there's 50 seconds left to go in this third quarter. So crucial play here for Delaware. Down 10 is 4th and 1 on the Stony Brook 30-yard line. Not opting for a field goal here on this play. And if you're Delaware here, 4th and short, you have a lot of options. Anthony Pauletti, you went to him on the previous 4th down. You can use him again. Or you can hand it off to either one of your featured backs, as Dejon Lee is the back for this 4th down. And if you're Delaware, do you just keep it simple and hand it up the middle?
Yeah, just bring a lot of blockers and just, looks like they want to do a quarterback sneak, and that looks like it worked.
They sneak it actually with Zach Wynn, and he is able to get enough for the first down. So great call there by Danny Rocco and this Delaware offense, as it is now first down for Delaware. So 2 4th down conversions for Delaware on this drive alone, and they're able to keep the drive alive here as we approach the end of the third quarter. Zach Wynn takes the snap, fakes the pass to Dejon Lee, throws it, and he gets the touchdown to Thyrick Pitts, his second of the game, and just a great adjustment there by Thyrick Pitts as he was working along that left sideline once again.
And that was just a great double move, actually, by Thyrick Pitts. He fakes his defender, make it look like he was going in, but then he goes out. And since his man coverage, he had no help on that play, and it led to Delaware scoring a touchdown to try to put this within 3 points to go into the 4th quarter.
Thyrick Pitts, 6 receptions, 90 yards, and Delaware's 2 touchdowns on the day as Ryan Coe makes the extra point. So with 13 seconds left to go in this third quarter, still a close game. Delaware only down by 3 points.
Yeah, and that was just a nice response by this Delaware offense, responding to the Seawolves offense after they just scored a touchdown in the previous play. And now it's going to bring pressure to the Seawolves offense going into the 4th quarter now. With 13 seconds left in the third quarter, going into the 4th quarter, let's see if the Seawolves can answer to that touchdown, or let's see if the Blue Hens can get a stop against the Seawolves offense.
Both Thyrick Pitts touchdowns have been for 25 plus. The first one for 33 yards back in the second quarter. And on the last play, a 28-yard touchdown to Thyrick Pitts. So Delaware on the road at Kenneth P. Lavalle Stadium. Only a 3-point game. And so far, it's anyone's game. Both teams desperately need a win here today. Stony Brook to snap their 4-game losing streak and their 8-game losing streak at home. And Delaware to try to move up the standings in the CAA.
Yeah, it's an important win for both these teams if they can get it. But only one team can win. And if the Seawolves want to snap their 8-game home losing streak and to at least get a win in their conference, they need to be able to respond back to Delaware's offense after they just scored a touchdown caught by Thyrick Pitts for 28 yards by a beautiful throw by Zach Wynn.
And Thyrick Pitts having almost half of Zach Wynn's completions. Zach Wynn is 14 to 23 now for 174 yards and the 2 touchdowns. So again, though, Delaware out-throwing Stony Brook 174 to 123, but Stony Brook just dominating them on the ground, 234 yards to 98 on the ground for Delaware. So, with Stony Brook looking to start their next drive, they need a long, methodical drive that ends in a score. As Ryan Coe kicks it away into the end zone for a touchback. So Stony Brook will start out their next drive at the 25-yard line. And as we go into the fourth quarter, both of these teams struggling in their last games respectively in terms of getting those last-minute scores that they need. So as we go into this fourth quarter, should be an exciting finish to this one. Stony Brook clinging to a 3-point lead over Delaware. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Stony Brook at their own 25-yard line as Tycho Fields fakes the handoff to Tyson Lawton and ends up throwing it to Tyson Lawton, but no gain that time. Great tackle by the linebacker that time. Andrew Pawlowski once again with the stop. And at the end of the third quarter, should be an exciting finish to this one. Stony Brook ahead 20-17. So as we approach the beginning of the fourth quarter, Stony Brook ahead 20-17 over the Delaware Blue Hens. And so far for Delaware, they've been able to get timely scores when they need to in order to make this a close game. When Stony Brook went up 13-0 at the beginning of the second quarter, they got the touchdown to Thyrick Pitts to make it a 6-point game. Then Stony Brook up 9, looked like they might run away with the game. Delaware able to respond with the touchdown of their own. So going into this fourth quarter, Stony Brook with the ball after a gain of 1 that time by Tyson Lawton. Matt Palmer with the tackle. So going into this fourth quarter, what do you think Stony Brook needs to do in order to secure a win here today?
Well, they need to be able to be clutch. Continue to move the chains like they've been doing this whole afternoon. And feed the ball to Tyson Lawton. When I play, he just hit a nice juke for about 3 yards.
Yeah, they hand it off to Tyson Lawton once again as they move it to the 32-yard line for a gain of about 6 yards. So it'll be 3rd and 3 now for Stony Brook. And if you're Delaware here, you need to get a stop.
Yeah, you definitely need to get a stop, especially on 3rd down. You see it's 3rd and short. Try to get a stop so you can get the ball back.
Seabon Naket, the featured back for Stony Brook on this drive. Tycho Fields, a huge blitz by Delaware, and they get him for the sack. The first person there, Colby Reeder, the linebacker. And with that, Stony Brook punting it away, Delaware getting the stop that they needed.
And that is just the stop that they needed. They blitzed Tycho Fields up the B gap, and there was no answer on that play just to take the sack.
So 4th down for Stony Brook. A quick 3-and-out here on this drive as Mitchell Wright now punts it away back to Delaware. Jordan Townsend looking to return it. And he's able to get it to the 38-yard line of Delaware. So that's where the Blue Hens will start their next drive.
And that is similar to where they started their last drive in the 35-yard line, and now they started in the 38-yard line. So let's see what the Blue Hens can do to either tie this game or get the lead in this game for the first time.
And this is where the mixed extra point by Angelo Guglielmo comes into play, because now the Blue Hens only need a field goal to tie this game.
Exactly.
1st and 10 for Delaware. They hand it off to Dejan Lee, who has a huge hole. And honestly, if the defender wasn't there that time, Jordan Jackson, that would have been a touchdown for Dejan Lee.
That would have definitely been a touchdown because that was just a beautiful run by Dejan Lee on first down to get about 15 yards.
So 15-yard rush that time by Dejan Lee. First and 10, they hand it off once again to Dejan Lee for no gain. Tackle made by Makai Smith. So it'll be second and 10 for Delaware. And Makai Smith is not a name I've really mentioned in this game. And if you're the Stony Brook defense, he's definitely a guy you need to get going. And he's definitely going to be huge if Stony Brook ends up winning this game. So second and 10 now for Delaware on the Stony Brook 47-yard line. Stony Brook sends for Zach Wynn throwing it deep, but too high that time, looking for Thyrick Pitts once again.
Wynn's pass intended for Pitts is incomplete.
So it'll be third down now for Delaware.
And that was just great coverage on that play by, I believe that was Redgi Deminci, who we've been saying all day today because he's been making noise on the Seals defense.
So third and 10 now for the Blue Hens, trailing by 3 in this one. Zach Wynn handing it off to Dejan Lee, but great tackle there by Raiji Damanchi, and they get the stop. Stony Brook's defense coming through, and Delaware forced the punt.
And Radigi Damanchi, what a play right there to come in and blitz the quarterback and get the sack, and now the Seawolves will get the ball back, and they will continue to have their 3-point lead that they have against this Delaware's football team.
So Delaware now, Tyler Pastula looking to punt it away, and it will take a nice bounce, and the ball will be stopped at the 12-yard line, and that's where Stony Brook will start its next drive. So far, back-to-back punts by both teams, and if you're Tykel Fields coming back onto the field, he's going to need to make some extraordinary plays in order to win this game. So with 11:36 left to go in this fourth quarter, Stony Brook still holding on to a 3-point lead, but they were able to get a huge stop defensively against Delaware's offense as Raiji Damanchi able to get a 4-yard tackle for loss on that previous third down play. So Stony Brook now bringing their offense back out here. And Tyson Lawton, I already mentioned, probably the best game of his career today. 17 carries, 173 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The majority of those yards coming off that 99-yard touchdown way back in the first quarter.
Yes.
So, coming back onto the field now for Stony Brook, what do you think they need to do on this next drive?
Well, continue to pound the ball with Tyson Lawton to run some clock out, but also making sure Tykel Fields continue to play efficient like he did today. He's 12 for 15, 124 yards, and throwing for 80% today. And you want that to continue going into this drive against this Delaware's defense. You want to either try to score or at least try to run some clock off so you won't give Delaware more time for them to score.
So with Stony Brook coming back out offensively, up 3 here, 11:36 left to go in the fourth quarter, leading Delaware 20-17. If they're able to get this long drive going and shoot some of that clock away, the game is in their hands right now at home at Kenneth P. LaValle Stadium. So first and 10 now for Stony Brook. Tycho Fields hands it off to Tyson Lawton, and he's only able to get 2 yards that time. Great job by that Delaware defense. So it'll be 2nd and 8 for Stony Brook.
And now it's 2nd and 7. If you're the Seawolves, you want to try to catch them off guard with throwing a pass play.
So 2nd and 7 now for Stony Brook on their own 15-yard line. Tycho Fields takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Tyson Lawton, and hit as he threw it that time. Looked like he was looking for Sean Harris Jr. that time. And the hit made that time by Liam Traynor coming off the blitz.
Yeah, that was a beautiful job by Lee Traynor, bringing quarterback pressure to Tycho Fields to make sure he don't hit Sean Harris Jr. on a nice inside route by him, Sean Harris Jr.
So it'll be 3rd and 7 now for Stony Brook. Again, can Stony Brook convert here on 3rd down? So far today, they're 3 of 8 in that category. Tycho Fields takes the snap, looking left, running to his left, and he throws it incomplete to the sideline. And Colby Reeder that time with the pressure on Tycho Fields. Chase McGowan was there as well for the Blue Hens.
And that was just a smart job by Tycho Fields, realizing that nobody was open and just throw the ball out of bounds.
So again, another quick 3 and out by the Stony Brook offense. Delaware now getting the ball back. And if you're Stony Brook's offense here in this 4th quarter, you cannot make a habit of these quick 3 and out drives, because one of these drives for Delaware will break it as Jordan Townsend just runs it out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. And that's where Delaware will start its next drive. With 10:42 left to go in this 4th quarter, Stony Brook ahead 20-17, only up 3 in this game. So for Delaware, we talked about how their passing attack has really been helpful in this game. Thyrick Pitts having a great game, 6 receptions, 90 yards, and both of Delaware's 2 touchdowns. But if you're Delaware, you need to be able to get some other receivers involved, because if you're Stony Brook, they may look to double Thyrick Pitts on certain plays and force Zach Wynn to throw it to some other receivers.
And the Seawolves on defense, you want to keep your eyes on Thyrick Pitts, because he's been the one making the secondary pay this afternoon against this Seawolves defense. So you want to keep your eye on Thyrick Pitts, and you also want to be able to contain Dejon Lee in the run game.
Stony Brook coming back out defensively here, trying to get another key stop from Delaware's offense. We mentioned it earlier on the last drive, Reggie DeMonchi with the huge 3rd down stop on Delaware's previous drive. And both him and Tyler King, those are going to be 2 names that I will continue to mention. They're going to need to be able to get some key tackles here down the stretch if Stony Brook wants to maintain this lead. As on the big Jumbotron, they're re-showing Tyson Lawton's 99-yard touchdown back in the 1st quarter on the first play for Stony Brook's offense. That is definitely a Stony Brook record that won't be broken for a long time. So 1st and 10 now for Delaware on their own 37-yard line. Anthony Pauletti taking the snap, handing off to Dejon Lee, but a great tackle there that time by the Stony Brook defender that time, and holding him to a short gain. So it'll be 2nd down now for Delaware. Ryan Lopez with the great tackle there. So quick snap here for Zach Wynn. Looking for Thyrick Pitts, but incomplete. Rules the side judge. And with that, we're already on third down. 3rd and 9 for Delaware.
And that was just an underthrow by Zach Wynn because Thyrick Pitts was open on that play, but he just underthrew him on that play.
And with it being 3rd down and 9, if you're Stony Brook here defensively, do you bring some pressure here?
Yes, you exactly bring pressure here to Zach Wynn.
And that's exactly what they do. Zach Wynn throwing it deep, looking for Thyrick Pitts, and a great adjustment by Thyrick Pitts along that right side, and he's able to bring it to within the 35-yard line. Gregory Young II in coverage that time.
And the one problem on that play, everything was right except for one thing. Gregory Young didn't look back to Thyrick Pitts, and that's exactly what just happened. Thyrick Pitts looked back to adjust for the football, and he gained the first down.
Zach Wynn taking the snap, handing it off to Dejon Lee, but a great tackle made by Tyler King for no gain, as it'll be 2nd and 10 now for Delaware.
And that is not surprising. Tyler King, really, really, really sensational linebacker. And I believe he is probably the best player on the Seawolves defense.
Agreed. So after the 25-yard completion to Thyrick Pitts from Zach Wynn, Dejon Lee stuffed for a 1-yard loss by Tyler King. So 2nd and 11 now for Delaware on the Stony Brook 38-yard line. Zach Wynn takes the snap, throws it, and a near interception that time by Reggie DeMonchi. I mentioned his name earlier. He read the quarterback's eyes, just unable to make the catch there defensively.
And that was just a beautiful job by Reggie DeMonchi. Seeing where the ball is at, next time he just got to catch that football because he played everything right. He read the quarterback's eyes. He seen where the ball was going. He just didn't come up with the interception.
3rd and 11 now for Delaware. Quincy Watson in as the feature back. And the ball incomplete, looking for Thyrick Pitts along that right side. It looked like it might have been tipped at the line of scrimmage. Great time there by that Stony Brook defensive line. And with that, Delaware looking to punt it once again back to Stony Brook.
And with 9 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter, the Blue Hens is going to punt the ball to the Seawolves. And let's see if the Seawolves can get something going offensively to put this game out of reach, probably.
Tyler Paschula kicking it away as it'll get a bounce back to about the 18-yard line, and that's where Stony Brook will start its next drive. So with 8:54 left to go in this 4th quarter, your Stony Brook Seawolves ahead in this one, 20-17, and a tight game here in the 4th quarter. Now, with Stony Brook coming back out here offensively, they've been able to get whatever they want on the ground. And after the punt by Delaware, Tycho Fields looking to get this offense going on the 1st down as he hands it off to Tyson Lawton. Only a gain of about 3 yards that time. So it'll be 2nd and 7 now for Stony Brook.
You're right about the Seawolves being able to do whatever they want in the ground game against this Delaware football team, especially in the second half with Tyson Lawton being able to run the football effectively.
So 2nd and 6 now for Stony Brook on their own 22-yard line. Tycho Fields takes the snap, looks right, and he is sacked on the play by Chase McGowan. I've mentioned his name quite a lot here today, and huge stop there for Delaware's defense.
And that's a great sack by Chase McGowan on that play. And now it's going to bring up 3rd and medium instead of bringing 3rd third and no, actually, it was actually going to bring up third and long instead of bringing up third and medium.
That is Chase McGowan's second sack on the day. And with that, it will be third down and long here for Stony Brook. And so far, neither offense has been able to get it going here. So ultimately, whoever can actually string a drive together is who I think will ultimately win this game. As it is third and long now, Tycho Fields looking for his receiver, able to make the catch is Tyler Alful, but unable to get enough for the first down, a gain of about 10 that time. So it'll be 4th and 1 now for Stony Brook.
It just had to suck that Tycho Fields got sacked on the previous play, because if he would have hit in that target to Teddy Awful on third down and medium, they would have had the first down. But now it's 6 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, and the Blue Hens have the football, so the game could probably be in their favor now, to be honest.
Delaware able to get that stop defensively as Mitchell Wright punts it away. Jordan Townsend letting it take a bounce to about the Stony Brook 21-yard line, and that's where Delaware will start its next drive on their own 21-yard line. 6:32 left to go in this fourth quarter. Stony Brook still hanging on to a 2017 lead, but Delaware's offense coming back on the field for their next drive.
Seawolves fans, it's your last chance to win prizes. You can be winning right now from your seat. Visit StonyBrookAthletics.com/scratches to win prizes from some of your favorite restaurants and partners.
So far in this fourth quarter, neither team has really been able to get a sustainable drive going. They've either gone quick 3-and-outs defensively, or they've only been able to get one first down, and that's it. So if you're Delaware here coming back out onto the field, you need to be able to string multiple first downs in order to have a chance at possibly tying this game or taking the lead in this one on the road.
Yeah. You want to make sure this drive is like actually one of the most important drives of this game. Trying to make sure you can either tie this game or gain the lead this game for the first time in this football game.
But even if Delaware were to score here, Stony Brook would still have a lot of time here to respond. But obviously, if you're Stony Brook, you don't want it to come down to that.
Yeah.
So
you ain't gonna stop.
They need to stop here on this next drive. And so far in this one, neither team really turning the ball over much. The only turnover by Stony Brook, the Tycho Fields fumble by Andrew Pulowski. So if you're Stony Brook here, this is the opportune time here where if you're able to get a key turnover here, you might be able to put this game away. But with that, they're only up 3 here, 2017, as Delaware looks to start their next drive. So first and 10 now for Delaware at their own 20-yard line. Zach Wynn takes a snap and running for his life, and there's a fumble and a scoop and near score by Brandon Lopez that time. Fumble caused by Makai Smith. And just like that, right on cue, that's exactly what you needed if you're Stony Brook's defense. And with that, Stony Brook in prime position to take the lead and extend their lead by multiple possessions here.
And Makai Smith, like you said earlier, if the Seawolves want to need a game changer, it's Makai Smith. And Makai Smith, even though we haven't said his name a lot in this game, he had 2 big plays, one on the sack earlier and then one right now with the fumble strip to get the Seawolves into scoring territory against the Blue Hens defense.
So first turnover of the game for Delaware off the fumble by Zach Gwynn. It looks like they're going to review it, it looks like. But Stony Brook should have the ball primed in the red zone here with an opportunity to extend their lead by multiple possessions. And if you're Delaware, that was the last thing you needed offensively. A turnover. Stony Brook able to get that turnover there. I haven't mentioned Makai Smith's name all game. He is able to make the key fumble by Zach Wynn, and Brandon Lopez nearly had a scoop and score for Stony Brook's defense. Instead, Stony Brook looks to start their drive inside the 5-yard line. So 1st and 10 now for Stony Brook. And honestly, if you're Stony Brook, if I were Chuck Biore here, just hand it off to Tyson Lawton. He's been your best player offensively throughout this game. And if he doesn't get it on 1st down, hand it to him 3 times.
Yeah.
And one of those will eventually get into the end zone.
Especially when you're 1st and goal at the Blue Hens 1-yard line. So continue to just pound the football with Tyson Lawton and just play it safe.
So it'll be 1st and 10 now for Stony Brook on inside their 5-yard line. So the referee's looking to see if Brandon Lopez did score on that scoop and fumble recovery. He is marked half a yard shy of the goal line. Tycho Fields looking to take the snap, trying to do a quarterback sneak here, and the push is enough for the touchdown as Stony Brook now goes up by 9 with 6:21 left to go in this 4th quarter.
And with the Stony Brook's defense committing a turnover, now with the offense just scoring that touchdown by Tykel Fields running the football in for a quarterback sneak, it's a 2-possession game now. And the Blue Hens offensively need to score quickly because this game can be out of reach if they don't.
And if you're Zach Wynn, as they fumble the snap there, but still good on the extra point is Angelo Guglielmo. And with that, your Stony Brook Seawolves are ahead 27-17. As you said earlier, if Delaware wants to have a shot at possibly coming back in this game, they need a quick score. And if you're Stony Brook defensively, that's where you got to watch out for Thyrick Pitts. He's been torching your defense all game long when you've played man coverage. So I think if you're Stony Brook defensively, you can afford here to play zone and give up a lot of those underneath throws, because the last thing you need is for Thyrick Pitts or any other one of these Delaware receivers to burn you over the top.
I 100% agree with you, Anthony, because you want to just play zone, give up the underneath routes, and waste out the clock instead of giving up big plays to Thyrick Pitts in the passing game. And you don't want that. You just want to dump it off and probably hand it over to your running back to make sure that they don't score quickly and put this game into either a 3-point game or a 7-point game late in the 4th quarter.
So Stony Brook taking and extending their lead. 27-17 is your score. Tycho Fields able to sneak it in from a 1-yard out after being able to get the strip sack from Makai Smith. Brandon Lopez almost having the scoop and score, unable to get in. Tycho Fields finishing it off. And with Delaware's offense coming back out onto the field now, we've been talking about it. That is a key turning point in this game was that strip sack by Makai Smith. And honestly, if Delaware has any shot at coming back in this game, they need to do it quickly. So it'll be first and 10 now for Delaware on their own 21-yard line. Zach Wynn taking the snap, throwing it along that right sideline, and incomplete, looking for Gene Coleman II along that sideline. So it'll be second and 10 now for Delaware. And if you're the Blue Hens here, what type of passing plays do you need in order to get it going? But before you answer that, it'll be second and 10. Zach Wynn looking to take off. He takes off, and he is met by Tyler King in the middle of the field. A bit shaken up on that play is Zach Wynn. And that is an injury you cannot afford if you're the Blue Hens. You already lost your starter to injury back in their game against Rutgers, Nolan Henderson. So hopefully Zach Wynn is okay, but just looking towards the future, you cannot afford Zach Wynn being injured at any point during your season.
Yeah, because you already lost your star quarterback, and then you're going to lose your backup, so you're going to be going in season with a third-string quarterback, and you would not want that at all.
So it looks like Zach Wynn is being helped off here on the field by the Delaware coaches. The fans in attendance cheering, happy that he's okay. But with that, you have to wonder, who is Delaware going to turn to now at quarterback? I'm assuming it'd have to be Anthony Poletti, and we've seen him a bit in this game. He's more of a dual threat quarterback than Zach Wynn is, which might help Delaware's offense here, giving them an extra dimension here. But again, if you're Anthony Poletti here, coming into the situation, under 6 minutes left to go in a 10-point ball game, what do you think he needs to do here? And what do you think Danny Rocco and this Delaware offensive team needs to do in order to, one, make it easy for Poletti, but also get a touchdown?
Well, you want to attack the sideline. You want to make sure you want to stop the clock and not make sure the clock is running, because you're down by 10 with under 6 minutes to go in this football game. So you want to attack the sideline, with making sure that you stop the clock. And also, you want to get big yardage down the middle of the field. And take your time here offensively. Try to put a drive here to score a touchdown to put it into a 3-point game.
So both teams huddling up, figuring out what they should do on each respective side. Zach Wynn getting checked out on that sideline. Hopefully he's okay. And with that, they're actually not going to bring in Anthony Poletti. They're going to bring in another quarterback here in order to get their drive going here, as it is 3rd and 2 now for Delaware. He takes the snap, running to his left, trying to just make it back to the line of scrimmage, able to do so. And with that, it'll be 4th down. And as you mentioned, obviously you're down 10 here, but with a backup quarterback, the backup to the backup quarterback, what do you think they need to do here, as Cade Pribula is a new quarterback checked into the game for Delaware, as it looks like they're going to bring Anthony Poletti now out for this 4th down. But before that, we're going to get a timeout by Stony Brook, as they're just trying to get one final stop here and possibly ice this game away.
To answer your question, Anthony, wow, the Delaware offensive line need to be able to protect Cade Pribula on this possession, on 4th down and 8, or Anthony Paletti, whoever's the quarterback being entered into this game on this play. You need to be able to protect their quarterback, because now you're down 2 quarterbacks and you're relying on your 3rd string and your 4th string to answer. So whoever's in there, be able to protect them, and for their quarterback to be able to see their receiver get open against the Seawolves defense.
So 4th and 8 now for Delaware. Anthony Paletti in at quarterback, but before that, flag is thrown. We'll see what the flag is in just a moment. So a false start that time on the offensive lineman that time. That is Ben Trent. And instead of a 4th and 8, it's now 4th and 13 for Delaware. And it looks like Tyler Pastula is actually going to punt this one away here for Delaware, as they do just that, and they're going to let the ball bounce to about the 44-yard line of Stony Brook, and that's where the Seawolves will start their next drive. So with 5 minutes left to go in this game, Stony Brook ahead 27-17 over Delaware, and all the momentum right now on Stony Brook's side.
Yeah, you're right about that. All the momentum is on the Seawolves side, and they want to continue to keep this momentum by just wasting out the clock, milking down the clock, making sure that Delaware burn their timeouts so you can be able to just run the football and call this a game.
So 1st and 10 now for the Seawolves on the Stony Brook 44-yard line. Tycho Fields takes the snap, hands it off to Tyson Lawton, and he's able to get it to about the 48-yard line, a gain of about 4 yards that time. So it'll be 2nd and 6 now for the Seawolves.
And like I said earlier, you just want to be able to run the clock out, being able to just run the football and not do anything that's going to cost you this game against the Delaware Blue Hens, because you're up by 10 in the 4th quarter with 4 minutes left to go.
So it'll be 2nd and 6 now for Stony Brook after the 4-yard gain by Tyson Lawton. 2nd and 6 now. They hand it off to Tyson Lawton once again, and he's able to get 5 yards that time. So it'll be 3rd and 1 for the Seawolves.
Kolnowski, the tackle for Delaware. Gain of 5, brings up 3rd down, 1.
So 3rd and 1 for Stony Brook. And as you said, Stony Brook just trying to run this game away. Tyson Lawton so far on the day, 21 carries, 189 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So absolutely monster game from Tyson Lawton, a career day for Tyson Lawton. And with it being 3rd and 1 for Stony Brook, they hand it off to Tyson Lawton once again. And with forward progress, they're going to give him enough for the 1st down, a gain of 3 yards. And with that, Stony Brook continuing to chew the clock away.
Yeah, and with that run, Tyson Lawton is actually on pace on having a 200-yard rushing game, because he has 192 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. So he needs about 8 yards to get 200 rushing yards this game.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Stony Brook on the Delaware 44-yard line after back-to-back-to-back runs by Tyson Lawton. And this time they have Siba Naket in as the feature back. They hand it off to him. He's able to get about 3 yards that time. So it'll be 2nd down for Stony Brook. 2nd timeout called by Delaware. They only have 1 remaining here in this game. And if you're Delaware here, you need to stop. But without your starter today, Zach Wynn, who knows if he's going to come back in this game if Delaware gets the ball back. Now, if you are the Blue Hens, what do you do here defensively?
Like you said, try to get a stop, but it looked like that actually looks like it's probably impossible at this point because the Seawolves has been able to just move the chains, especially on this drive, by just running the football, and they're making the Blue Hens burn their timeouts.
As they hand it off to Roland Dempster, only able to gain about 3 yards that time. So it'll be 3rd and 4 now for Stony Brook. Actually, they're going to say he did not get anything on that play. Delaware using their final timeout of the game. So 3rd and 7 now for Stony Brook. And honestly, if you're the Seawolves, 1 first down should be able to end this game.
Yeah, literally. If they're able to just get the first down, they could just put this game away by just kneeling.
Now, I've mentioned how dominant Stony Brook's running game has been, but look at this. Delaware today has 96 rushing yards as a team. Tyson Lawton has double that amount by himself. And Stony Brook as a team, 251 rushing yards. We said it before the game, Stony Brook's MO is Tyson Lawton and that running game on offense. And that has worked wonders for them here today.
Yeah, they're able to use their best offensive weapon in the run game, Tyson Lawton, and he ran for about 192 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns today. And his longest gain was the 99-yard touchdown in their opening drive. So, what a outstanding performance by Tyson Lawton today. And hopefully they can carry this momentum against Richmond next week for homecoming.
Agreed. And with that, Roland Dempster not getting anything on the ground that time. And it'll be 4th and 7 now for Stony Brook, opting to keep their offense out there. Flag thrown by the official, and it looks like it'll be a delay of game call against Stony Brook. So with that, it's 4th down. We're going to punt it away back to Delaware with 1:51 left to go in the 4th quarter. Taking a delay of game is smart because you chew out as much of the clock as you can. But Delaware now, when they get the ball back, you need to score quickly here. But I'm just not sure if there's going to be enough time for them to come back in this one.
Yeah, I don't think it's enough time either for them to come back with only 1 minute and 47 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter.
And there's a fumble, and it's a touchdown by Luigi DiManci, and that will do it for the Stony Brook Seawolves. Any chance of Delaware coming back in this game, absolutely demolished. Jordan Townsend looked like he was going to try to return it there, bobbled it, and Luigi DiManci able to pick it up in the end zone for the touchdown. And after 4 straight losses, 8 consecutive losses at home, Stony Brook able to get their first win here since 2019 against Fordham.
Yeah, and I know this actually is very exciting for Seawolves fans because today it showed that the Seawolves can actually defend home field. They have not been doing it for the 8 games that they was playing against ever since that win against Fordham. So now you go into homecoming thinking now this is our home field, to be honest.
So after kicking the extra point by Angelo Guglielmo, Stony Brook ahead now 34-17. What looks like to be the nail in the coffin in this one. And I've talked about in the past how Stony Brook is getting outscored in the 4th quarter. Today, completely different story. The Seawolves outscoring Delaware 21-7 in the second half. 14-0 here in the 4th quarter. And honestly, the momentum really shifted in Stony Brook's favor after that fumble caused by Mekhi Smith.
Yeah. And like you said, Mekhi Smith is a game changer. He changed his whole game around. Delaware was down by 3, and the fumble and the strip fumble by Mekhi Smith, making it a 10-point game and ruining Delaware's momentum to have any shot into coming back into this game.
So Angelo Guglielmo now looking to kick it away for Stony Brook. 1:43 left to go in the game. Your Seawolves ahead 34-17, and they are going to get their second win of the year. Their only other win coming against Colgate on the road, 24-3, that final. And in this game, it has been an absolutely dominant performance by the Seawolves on both sides in the second half. Because remember, this game was 17-20 back in the third quarter. And ever since then, Stony Brook able to use the home crowd, use their own momentum. And with that, they're going to walk out of here with the win.
Yeah, and this is a great job by the Seawolves defense in the second half, only allowing 7 points in the second half because Delaware only had 10 points to start the second half. So they only allowed a touchdown, and a great job also in the Seawolves defense because they came here allowing 26.7 points per game to opposing teams' offenses. Today, they allowed Delaware to only 17 points.
So on that first down play for Delaware, Cade Pribula just handing it off to Dejon Lee for a gain of 4. And it looks like Delaware is just looking to run this game out as another handoff once again to Quincy Watson this time. And it'll be enough for the first down, a gain of 6 yards. So if you're a Seawolf fan, you have to be absolutely ecstatic here today. Your team played their best game all season and able to get their first home win since 2019. They snap a 4-game losing streak as they hand it off once again here to Quincy Watson. A gain of about 9 that time. But again, if you're a Seawolf fan, this has to be the team that you want to see as you go into the back half of your schedule. And as I mentioned earlier, the Seawolves possibly have a chance here to sneak back into the playoffs. They are 0-3 in conference play. However, with this game, they will move to 1-3 against CAA opponents. And their schedule coming up, as you mentioned, they're going to play Richmond and Maine. And it looks like a bit of a tussle here from both teams. Frustrations boiling over here. But with that, that is your final. Your Stony Brook Seawolves walk out of Kenneth B. Lavalle Stadium as winners. They beat the Delaware Fighting Blue Hens 34-17. Your final score, Stony Brook with its second win on the year, their first win at home since 2019 against Fordham, and with their next 2 games against Richmond and Maine, who are right ahead of them in the standings. If Stony Brook can continue to play like this, they have a shot.
Yeah, they do have a shot because now they're 1-3 and they play these opponents. So if they're able to beat these opponents higher ranking than them, then they definitely have a shot to be in the CAA playoffs if they want to.
So with that, it has been a pleasure to broadcast this game for WUSB. My name is Anthony Leon. I've been joined alongside by Momodou Sise. And as this game is final, your Stony Brook Seawolves walk out of here with a win against the Delaware Fighting Blue Hens. Your final score, 34-17. Thank you for listening, and let's send it back to the WUSB studios.